So I've actually seen this video on YouTube of a guy recreating LEA's logo, and it was actually pretty interesting to see how he actually did it, and I've actually decided to do it myself, but with one of the most famous YouTubers' logo, and I'm talking about PewDiePie. He is the biggest YouTuber of them all, with over, I think he's close to like 55 million subscribers. That is just insane amount of subscribers. And basically, this logo is basically recognized by almost every guy on YouTube. Everyone that goes on YouTube can recognize this logo. Although that in recent days or months, I can say, he changed his profile pictures to several animals and Mark Zuckerberg. This logo has faded away, but it's still relevant in today's matter. And today I would like to show you how I recreated his logo in Photoshop. And I actually did a time lapse while also talking about what I did. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this time lapse. So I started by marking the edges of the bro fist sign. I used the pen tool and I tried at first to make a few points and then make a few curves here and there with the pen tool, but it didn't really work out for me eventually and I just messed up with it. So I basically went by zooming in and basically marking every point. It took me a while and it's obviously not the most efficient way to do it, but it was the most convenient way that I thought about at the moment, and I think that next time I'm gonna try to do something like that, I will think about another way. Again, it's not the most convenient way. I'm sure there is many other ways to do so, but I think that for now, for that time, it was the most efficient idea that I've actually thought about. So after finishing with the bro fist, I actually curled it a little bit. I tried to see how it works, but I then realized that it wasn't the same layer as I did with the picture, so I eventually had to do something else, which I'm gonna show you what I did later. But basically what I did, I just did the same thing with the bro fist. With the thumb, I just used the pen tool to mark it and basically to copy, and then I went on doing the P of the logo, and I did the same thing. Again, this thing is not the most efficient way to do so, but this was the idea that I had. So basically I marked out the outside of the P. It was quite easy, to be honest, and then I went on and did the inside of the P. I didn't know if it will actually work for me back then, but it eventually did work. So I marked the P. I tried to be as exact as possible, but eventually it did, and I did color it. I did try to see if it actually works, and I realized that it wasn't the same layer. So eventually what I did, I used I don't know how it's called, but I basically selected it and I copied it to another layer, each part. I copied the bro fist, copied the P, but I've actually started with the P, and when I started with it, I noticed that there was like this red background from the picture. Because I selected it, it's not the most efficient way. So what I did, I tried to do the color range, which is basically like how the green screen method works. And then it was in the inside a little bit of a black, so I just erased it with the regular eraser, and eventually it went pretty well. Then what I did, I've actually selected the bro fist and the thumb, and I copied it to another layer, but it wasn't pretty well, so I actually erased the red background that was. I've actually accidentally deleted some of the parts of the thumb, but in another part I actually draw it back. And then I've actually deleted the red that was between the fingers of the bro fist. And I've also deleted a little bit of the edge, and I tried to color it a little bit so it would actually make it way more easier. And eventually it did, but as you can see, it looked kind of pixely and wasn't really smooth. Though I actually took an eraser and I erased the edge of the bro fist. Look, it looked like it was a video game or something like that, like an 8-bit game. So I took an eraser, I deleted the edge of it, and it took me a while. Again, as I said many times, it wasn't the most efficient way to do it, so but this is the first time I'm doing this. So it actually took me quite a while to finish the bro fist because I accidentally deleted a part of it, and I deleted too much, and I had to put it again. I had to press Ctrl Z, but eventually I did, and it worked pretty well. So I did color it a bit, the bro fist, and then I noticed something about the P, that it wasn't smooth enough either, so I tried to do something with it, but it didn't really work, so I left it like that. Then I wanted to put the background that PewDiePie had, so what I did, I went to his banner, I did a screenshot, and basically I pasted it in the Photoshop, and I just deleted it so it actually matched the P. And then I tried to erase a little bit the P, and then I realized that it was basically fucked up, so I didn't do it. And then I tried to erase the red background on what I took from PewDiePie's banner, but it didn't really work. I wanted it to match the background. And as you can see on the screen right now, this was the final result of the recreation of the logo. I think it went pretty well. Eventually what I decided to do is just to match the black thing from the banner, from PewDiePie's banner. I decided to match it with the background, and I did a little bit of changes. I eventually blurred the P and the bro fist and the thumb to make it less pixely, and to be honest, when you look at it really zoomed out, it actually looks pretty good. If you're gonna use this as your profile picture, it actually will turn out pretty good. So I'm actually quite happy with this creation, with this project. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to see the project, the PSD, the Photoshop file, I'm gonna leave it down in the description below so you can download it and see what I've actually did. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it if you will do this. If you have any questions, make sure to ask me in the comments. I'll try to answer them. And yeah guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.